Okay, so in this video, we're going to quickly go through what you need to do to create the laser cutting outlines for your coaster, the rim, and any screw holes that you're going to put into that for doing the plywood or acrylic. So you're going to open up Illustrator and create a new file. This file should be a little bit bigger than the size that you want your coaster to be. So for example, if you want your coaster to be 100 millimeters or 10 centimeters, then you might want to make it 120. So I'm going to set that up here first. Instead of doing one of these ones here, I'm going to come over to the side. I can name it, so I can put in laser cut and my name and coaster, just so I know where that's going to go. I'm going to do 120, so 12 centimeters, and make sure, 12 centimeters, 120 millimeters. So if it says, might come up as points or something, make sure it's selected millimeters. And the height, I'm going to do the same. So I'm going to make a little box that I'm going to do my design in. And you don't need to worry about any of these other settings. I'm just going to press create. So that will load up with a new file. And I made a little square there. Now you can zoom in and out by pressing Control or Command minus and plus to zoom in and zoom out. All right, so we're going to first of all set up and make sure that your toolbars on here show as many tools as possible. So you're going to go up to Window, you're going to select Workspace, and make sure that you've got Essentials Classic on. You may find that Essentials just Essentials is on, which is more limited. Okay, so make sure you go ahead and put it into Essentials Classic as the first thing that you do. Okay, from now on, it's probably going to come up with any file that you do like this. So we're going to create a shape, and that shape here is this one. Now, if I want to do a ellipse tool, I just select on that, or I can choose one of these other shapes. So I'm going to do an ellipse tool. Now, if I wanted to have an oval, I could just go in there and kind of eyeball what it is and pull it out like that. Now, I don't want it to do that. I want to have a really perfect circle. So I'm going to press Shift on my keyboard and hold it down. Now, I want it a little bit less than this, and I want it to be 10 centimeters across, so it will fit the cup in. So I'm going to just take that, put it right in the center. Should come up. Oh, there is the center. Doesn't seem very centered to me. Anyway, I'm going to come up here and transform it. So I've got the width and the height, and I want them to be 10 exactly. So I'm going to do 100 millimeters by 100 millimeters. And I press enter. So that's perfect 10 centimeter circle. I'm going to put it in the center because that doesn't seem like it was in the center. All right, so from there, because I want to cut this, it'll be my external shape. Okay, and I can cut my base using this shape and my second layer of plywood or whatever it is that I want to use using this as well, or the acrylic on top. They're all just going to be the same shape. So if you do a square or a hexagon or something different, you're more than welcome to just have that one shape. Okay, and I just need to make sure that it is the right color so that when I take it to the laser cutter, that it will actually read that. So just so you know what I'm doing here, I'm first of all going to get rid of the inside. Okay, so even though it's white on white, so if I click on this shape here, I double click it so you can see that it does have a fill inside of it. I want to get rid of that fill, and I just do that by pressing on the none. So it's a little box with a red over the top of it. Press on that. Now there's nothing in the inside. This one, this black square here is what is the outside line, and up here it will tell you how thick or thin that is. So just keep it fairly thin. You don't want to have it too thick, otherwise you're going to start cutting too far across. So I mean, I've got mine at 0.35 you can keep it around that. And I'm going to double click on that shape, and I'm going to pull this all the way up to the top and put it on the very, very corner so that 255 comes up for red. Press OK, and now when I send that to the laser cutter, that's going to come up as being the place to cut. If I put another colour in there, it's not going to read it and nothing will cut. It'll just not do anything. So now I'm going to put on this same one, I'm going to put another shape on the inside. So maybe you don't want to have a circle inside, you want to have a polygon. Okay, so I'm going to select on that in my shapes tool, hold the shift key down so that it stays same size. I'm going to drag it down so it is centered. Now, this is probably a little bit too big, okay, because it's very close to this, and that's going to maybe make it a little bit likely to break. So I'm going to go up to transform, and it's saying it's 93 by 81. So I might just change it to 80 by 80 and see what that looks like. All right, so maybe that's a little bit more the shape that I want. All right, and this has automatically come up with that color because that's what I was using before, but if it doesn't, you can just go through those same steps. Now I just want to map out where I'm going to put in my little holes for the screws, and the size of those are 3 millimeters or 3.1 millimeters if you want to be a little bit more precise. I'm going to go back here and choose an ellipse tool, and I'm going to maybe do it here. All right, and you can see the measurements coming up on here, and then I'm just going to transform it and make sure it's 3.1 or 3, and press enter, and oops, and then I'm going to come up and use my selection tool, make sure it's selected. I'm going to do a control copy or a command copy depending if I've got a Mac. Control copy, control paste, so control C, control V, and it's come up with a copy of it. And I've got these little guide tools that's telling me it's intersecting in those places. I'm actually going to select both of those and do another control C, control V, and then I'm just going to pull them down and make sure that they're kind of in line somehow with other ones. Okay, and so make sure you save that, and you are pretty much ready to go on to the next step. Okay.